Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Eve. This is Everyday Artist, and welcome. She's hoping she can find some crumbs on my shirt. I don't know why. She's always hungry. She takes prednisone every other day for her itchiness, and it makes her hungry all the time. Well, and she's a dog. So it's Labor Day, and we had to drop by the grocery store today. My sister and I weren't planning on it, but my son, who is never good about these things, he says, "Did you get the cat more cat food?" I'm like, did you ask me to? Because, I'm not feeding his cat. I don't know how much cat food is left, and sometimes I look, but like, no. How much do you have left? He goes, "Oh, today's the last day." So we went to the grocery store, and they were cooking some pork ribs outside, so we snagged some of those, and we weren't planning on it, So we're like, oh, that'll be a nice thing to have for Labor Day, and for 4th of July, I tried to do that, and they had just sold the last of them. So we're going to do that, and my knee is finally feeling better. I got injections on Friday, and I can kind of move it now, and I got into the pool. We have had some rainstorms. Fantastic, right? But they were associated with some very high winds, which we often get in August, usually accompanied by a lot of dirt. And if any of you have ever lived around palm trees, the bark off the palm trees just flies everywhere. So I finally got to get in the pool, and I have a pool service that comes and cleans it all the time, but things happen. I got in the pool, and I was like, I'm going to spend all my time trying to get all these palm things off the bottom of the pool. But it was nice to finally get back in the water. It's hot, but for 2 days, it wasn't even, I don't think it was even reached 90 degrees, because it was cloud cover when we were having those storms, and theoretically it's going to happen again later this week. But today, it's hot again, which is great, because then I can go swimming. But it's accompanied by humidity. We're just not used to that here. That is my weather report for today. But I've had a busy week, but basically a good week. A lot of doctor's appointments and running around, but pretty good week. And so I didn't get to sew. Well, I did. I should show you all my sewing, but it wasn't really my stuff. My sister wanted to do some FFOs, and she finished them all as pillows. But she knows how to use a sewing machine, but she doesn't like to, and the sewing machine is mine. So she had them all piled up there, poor thing, since July, and she was working in here, and I didn't want to disturb her because I don't know what she was doing. And, but I took out my sewing machine and just sewed those together. It took me like 10-15 minutes. It was nothing. So that she could get the rest of that done, because she'd been waiting a while, what with all the stuff going on with me. Yeah. Anyway, so now, shall we talk about stitching? Because I don't have any of the other stuff I plan to do to show you. So, first off was my August cross-stitch camp piece, which is Tinymodernist Phoenix Biscornu, and I did not finish it by the end of the month. I didn't even get the first half finished. So this is right side up. I still have to finish this phoenix, do all the back stitching, so it would be like this one here, but everywhere, and then the other side. So not even close, but I really want to do this to remember this wickedly hot summer that we've had. Very hot. There's all kinds of statistics that are being dropped about, you know, the record number of days that we've had that have been over 110 this summer. I've lived here, my son is 25 and he was about to go into 3rd grade, so a long time. And of course I'd visited before that. My sister was living here. And summers are always hot. They're hot, you know, but not this hot. Generally, you only get maybe 2 weeks of over 110, over 115. But this has been a brutal summer with no rain really to speak of. I did discover that I need new windshield wipers. I just bought some a year ago. This kind of heat and stuff is just, the rubber can't take it. So now I need to buy them again. It's going to have to wait for another time. I know I need them, but you know how it is. All right, so what are we moving on to? My sister gave me hands-on design, some of the flamingo ornament patterns for my birthday. Now one of them I already had. I already had this one. And so there's a third one, but I'll get that later. But I had already purchased the threads, and I said, why haven't I started this? And if you recall, I bought some 32 count mint. It says mint, but it looks blue to me. It's a very pale greeny blue, I guess, with little dots on it. Lugana. And I thought, it'd be perfect for this. Now, it says it was done on 32 count Icelandic blue linen. That does not look blue to me. Is Icelandic blue actually not blue at all? I don't know. It doesn't look blue. But when I bought the threads, I thought I had them all. But apparently when I went to get the threads, one of them wasn't there. I bought these at the attic. And when you look at the pattern, that this pink and light pink look pretty different, right? I didn't have it, but my sister did. So this is the color I had, and this is the color that my sister gave me. And you can see that there is a difference there. But not here. It's starting to be, you know, toward here, but it's almost the same color. But I know that there's areas that are going to be darker and lighter and all that, but I couldn't resist starting it. And I've worked on this 2 days. So it's stitching up pretty fast. And I like it on that. Can you see the spots? It looks like snow, huh? So I think it'll look really cute on that. I'm glad my sister had the color, because I had the DMC alternative, but I was like, I kind of want the modeling that comes with this, because this one had so much in it, that I thought if I put that solid DMC next to it, it won't look as good, you know. Plus, that color is, the majority of it. So, and down here. And I thought, no, I want the real color if I can get it. I almost took off to go to the attic. When I discovered this, it was Saturday and, about noon. And, they're not open during the week except by appointment. And so they're just open on Friday and Saturday. And so I thought, okay, I'll get in my car and run down there and see if they have it. And then I thought, but my leg hurts because I had the injection on Friday. And I was like, I don't want it. Maybe, what if they don't have it? Okay, I'll call them and see if they had it. I was like, no, because if they have it, I'll want to go and get it, and it's not an emergency. So I was just going to hold off, Fortunately, my sister had it, so hopefully I'll be done with this week, and I'll move on to the second one, and then try to get that third one in. I think it's lots of mingos. What's it called? It's got a whole bunch stacked up flamingos. It's very cute. So, WhipGo. Last time I showed you what my WhipGo pools were going to be for this month, and I'll talk about those in a second. But I had 10 days on Silent Night, and I did work on it for 10 days. I didn't get as far as I would have liked. This is by Stitching with the Housewives. And I'm substituting quite a few of these colors to Weeks Dye Works colors. I just like them better. Doesn't really matter. They look virtually the same, but this is as far as I've gotten. Now, let's see if I can fold this in a way where you can see it. Since I'm putting this is one of the sparkly threads that I'm holding there. It's what I'm putting over the blue after I stitch the blue, and I have more blue to stitch in, so it's just waiting there for me. But the white one, I don't do it at two separate times. I do it at the same time, but it does take a little bit longer. But this one, let me see if I can. This one is thicker than the clear one that I use on the white, and so I'm just putting 1x on it of the blue, and so I'm not stitching it at the same time, and it does add some work, but I like the way it's coming out. So, and Christmas comes every year, so I thought, oh, I can get a lot more done. Too many snowflakes. Snowflakes, they just, they're hard. So for WhipGo for September, the calls were Erica Michaels' Holly Jolly Christmas, and Stitching with the Housewives' Daisy May. And I was going to work on this when we were filming our video on Saturday, but I realized that I didn't have the threads I wanted in the bag. I had moved them, I don't know, to another bag of Stitching with the Housewives stuff or something. And I had some of them, but not the ones I wanted to use right then, like the black coffee and stuff, and I'll show you that in a minute. So I had this, And I said, okay. So it was a new start for this. So I said, I'll just work on that. Now, I showed you these last week, as you recall. That's the Holly Jolly Berry and the Lots of Jolly Berry. And this is all done on the same 18 count vintage that I bought at Hobby Lobby, Ada. If you look carefully, these patterns use a lot of green. And when I took the threads out to start on this, I thought I had plenty. If you'll look at this pattern, look how much green there is. That is a lot of green, right? I don't think I'm going to make it. Another thing I wanted to run to the attic for. But it's 10 days on both of these things, so there's time. And I figure this weekend, if I go to the attic this weekend or something, it's soon enough, and pick it up. But I'm going to call before I head out there and make sure they have these threads, because I don't want to drive all the way out there for these threads and have them not have them. Because, people are doing their Christmas stitching and stuff. The pink one I'm not as worried about. But I don't want to order it online if I can get it here at the attic. I prefer to try to support the brick and mortar buildings if I can. But this is as far as I got. And I do have one more thread in here, that I just started, but I'm like, that is not gonna, it's not gonna make it. This isn't the whole piece. It's plenty of, I measured it, it's plenty to work it on. So that's 2 threads that I thought I had that I didn't have. But it's not a tragedy. I'll get it. And since I've already started all of them with the specialty thread, I'm not going to use the DMC alternative. And I'm not going to switch it out for another green I have, because I want them to match. So then, like I said, I started working on Daisy May. Now, when I showed you Daisy May, I just think this is so cute. And I have a couple of other bee patterns, and I think it'll look really cute, my spring bee patterns, which I haven't actually put away. I didn't switch out anything for summer, not really. I don't know. I've had a summer where I just really didn't feel good, I guess. Anyway, let's see if I can show you what this looked like last week. But it was basically the top of the ears and some white, and this bee, this wasn't done. So I feel like I worked on it a little bit during the video, and then I've worked on it another day, yeah. So I'm getting there. I'm getting some more done. I really think it's cute, and it's not really big. It's 70 by 98, as opposed to the Silent Night, which is 140 by 140. So quite a bit more stitching on the Silent Night. So maybe I'll get done with that in the 10 days. We'll see. But I want them all to match, so because I thought, well, I could take out the, what I started with, the HAV, because it wasn't until I needed another piece of thread that I realized how little thread there was. I was like, I could take it out and substitute, DMC. But I think I'd rather just go ahead and have them all look the same. So those are my WhipGo things that I'm working on. And then there is my sister's birthday is next month, and I started this earlier this year, and I have not gotten as far as I would have thought on this. This is Plant Pots by Darling and Whimsy, and I finished the middle cat, and I wanted to start on this cat next. I don't know why, I just thought maybe the cactus would be more fun or something, I don't know. But, and theoretically I have that thread, God knows where. I have where I looked where I keep the threads, and I was like, I don't know where it is. But I could have substituted it for something and not marked it down that I did that. I don't know. I'm not going to go looking through every single bag to see if that color's there. So I'll either, that's DMC, so I'll either buy it again, or I'm having thread problems this week. I'll either buy it again, or I'll get a color that's very close. I think I found one that's a number like 1 up or down, I don't remember. So I took out the black, and I started on the black kitty. Now I only worked on this one day, and most of that, I hate this folding it, but most of that day was spent looking for that thread of the time I wanted to work on it. So I gotta, every time I think, okay, instead of organizing my threads this way, I'm gonna organize them that way. And Thread Stash will help me keep track of what threads I have. It's very good with DMC, kind of. But with the, like say, Weeks Dye Works, if you put it in with the number, it will not recognize it when you're looking for it with the name. If you put it in as the name, half the time it doesn't recognize that you have it, and or where it is, because it want, you know. And for a while, you had to put in as an extra thread Classic Colorworks, and then when they put that in, it didn't pick up those Classic Colorworks as, you know, you having them. So I took them all out and put them back in the way that it was showing up then, and I still can't register where they are half the time. Sometimes yes. It just depends on how I entered it. And, you know, if you type in the color name and it pops it up for you, and you put that's what you want, or you type in the color number and it pops it up for you, and you put, you know, that you want that thread, it shouldn't matter which way I call it up again the next time to look it up. But it does, or at least in my experience it does. I don't know, tell me, are you having those same issues with Thread Stash? And I really like the program, I'm glad I use it, I'm not dissing it, but there are some issues. And then there is, talking about the weather, my temperature salve. Now, this did not those colder days I was telling you about were on Saturday and Sunday that were under 90, so they're not represented here. So I do it every Friday. So what you see here is Friday to Friday, and it went this way this time. And so you can see that we had a couple of days last week that were very hot and then mildly hot. The really cooler days didn't happen until this line. But we're having one of those wild, weird weeks. I mean, when I look back and see July, you know, how many days July are. This color this dark color is above 115, and then this color I think is above 110. So it's been a hot one. I'm really glad I chose this year to do a temperature chart. I debated about it a long time because when you think about it, you're like, well, you know, the temperature doesn't vary that much, and you know, the summers are all just kind of hot, you know, why do it? But it sounded like fun, and I thought, well, I'll look for one that I think will work. And I just really like this. I like the flowers, you know, underneath. So I'm excited to be working on it, and I'm happy that I did it on a year that has such strange weather in it. And I am almost done. The other thing is my hands-on design mini snowman Snuggles. So cute. Apparently I got my hair caught in there, in that bag. I have to take it out because that's grossing me out. And I can't. Okay, so this is as far as I've gotten. Now, the reason I went down and a little bit further out on that square is because of where the thread, this color, you know, I was coming down here, and the next spaces of that color were way over here, but these were right there in line with that, and it was not very much thread, so I just went ahead and did that so that it would not have all these big threads stretched across for just a tiny bit of stitching. So I am not getting very far very fast on this, but I sure am enjoying working on it. I put it away, was working on it, and I needed to go do something that I wasn't expecting to go do. And I just, you know, with the needle, with the thread, tucked it in. And I thought I would remember what color I was working on. No. Took me a while to figure it out. This is the week of where the heck are my threads? What thread am I working with? So that is all of my stitching. And I have no haul because I didn't go get the threads that I needed. You know, I have no FFOs or any of that. And I know that I'm going to be starting physical therapy, and you know, some other appointments are coming up. You know how once the school year starts, everything starts. But I'm hoping that I can get my act together enough to you know, do some of the other things that I like doing, like sewing and quilting and things that I've been putting off for some reason or haven't been doing. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a fantastic Labor Day, those of you in the United States that are celebrating Labor Day. And those of you who are not in the United States and do not celebrate Labor Day and have no idea what that is, much earlier this in the beginning of the industrial age stuff, workers were getting together into unions to you know, try to make sure there were safe environments to work on and stuff like that. And that's how Labor Day came to be. One day where those people that are, you know, spend their lives working and cannot take a day off, you know, to enjoy the fruits of their labor, so to speak, uh, came to be. And I'll tell you, it's one of my favorite holidays. I think because it's just, it's not Memorial Day where, you're remembering all of those that fought for our country and died, and it's not 4th of July, which is the nation's birthday. This is a day just to celebrate the fruits of your labor, to just um, relax and have fun and enjoy your life. And it's always the first Monday in September, and that work that always kind of interferes with school a little bit because kids have just started back at school or something. But it's warm enough that you can go do outdoor things, boating, um, swimming, parks, stuff like that, but not so hot that you can't enjoy it. So I really enjoy Labor Day. Uh, it, it's not a religious holiday. It's just a enjoy the fruits of your labor holiday. So I hope all of you are having a great Labor Day and have a good week, and hopefully you're not having as much trouble looking for your threads. I'll see you next week. Bye.